Well, good morning. It is Monday afternoon, 1 o'clock actually. Start of March, so 2nd of March today, new month. Spent yesterday pretty busy updating the SIG1 levels on the charts, which is always a big job. Updating the weekly market, if I say that again, weekly market analysis spreadsheet for monthly, weekly, daily. And 240 in terms of relationships with the 250 and on the daily 10 exponential moving average, 250 simple moving averages. And to be honest, there's quite a lot going on. The coronavirus seems to be having an impact on world markets, and the currencies are no exception rather, with bids in Japanese yen, bids in Swiss franc. Yeah, some of my signals that have shown up have taken advantage of that. I've not traded the news, but the signals will inevitably show up in the direction of the trades, in direction of the market travel. So so got quite a few positions on now. I am trading what I call my Braveheart strategy, which is a new one. I need to write a blog post on this. Very behind on blog posting. I need to do a blog post this week just to update on a few things. So basically, I've got a couple of strategies on the daily charts now: range break and Braveheart, SIG1 on the weekly, and then I've got 5 strategies on the intraday 240 chart, which I've had for a while now. So just trying to have a portfolio of trading opportunities that take advantage of market conditions, and always trading, apart from SIG1, in line with my MAG7 indicator, an IG sentiment indicator. So yeah, all quite technical, but that's what it is, technical analysis. So I'm going to jump into the charts now, have a quick look at what's happening and what has been happening. So cable, this is my range break strategy, basically sold on the break below the low of the range, with some bids against my position, but now trading down to the 200 simple moving average. So yeah, got some very specific rules now, this being a daily chart trade, in terms of rolling the stop loss. So it looks like if this closes down today, I'll be rolling the stop loss, and if it closes below the 200 simple moving average and makes a new low, then I'll be looking to add. Swissy has just hit target on, or very recently hit target on my full house strategy, roll stop to entry. This is now a risk-free trade. I'm going to look to try and add to this position if the opportunity presents itself. But this is a winning trade now at the moment, whatever happens. Australian dollar, US dollar, Aussie. There's the charts loading. Sometimes does that. Basically track this pair down. Haven't added, but I've capitalized on profit. We hit the target and then traded into the SIG1 level. SIG1 level, always a potential reversal level. I roll my stop tighter than I would normally do, and have been stopped out. I may get a subsequent entry signal, but with this SIG1 level there, it's always a dangerous short, so probably will sit on the sidelines now. Kiwi, very, very similar story to Australian dollar, US dollar. I have an added position in here now. That added position, that second position, is fully protected. I'd look to see a close below the SIG1 level to add again. But yeah, so far so good. And I exited 50% of the position just inside the SIG1 level, which is a fine tune of my rules on this type of trade. So took off half the positions. So I can potentially add again at a reasonable size if we do close below that SIG1 level. And here we are on pound Swiss franc. This is a big sell-off, it looks like at the moment, which I'm capitalizing on. This was technically a range break and Braveheart strategy all in one, although I fine-tuned those rules slightly. And depending on the market mode, I can trade one and not the other. But looks to be all to the offers here. So good news on this particular trade. And I'll look to track this down, probably right the way down to the SIG1 levels. But follow my rules and see how far I can get. Then finally, SIG1 strategy on Euro Swiss franc. Got an X reversal candle at a SIG1 level, so bid off this, got long this morning on this. The longs were in charge for a while, then the offers appear to have come back, but this is a weekly candle, so it's a long, there's a long way to go yet. It's in favor of the carry trade, which is good. And euro had a very, very strong finish to the week. So, yeah, double size position on this, but, you know, bigger, longer term trend. So, you know, in terms of the initial pound per pip, much, much lower than I would normally trade. Well, good morning. It is Wednesday morning, around about 20 to 6, and yeah, woke up about 2:30. Wanted to get up then, and then obviously didn't. Yeah, when the alarm's not gone off yet, but this morning woke up at the usual time, body clock kicks in, and didn't really feel like getting up. Didn't record any footage yesterday, was busy doing quite a lot of different stuff, but the markets were quite busy. Quite a few of my new trading strategies were kicking in. So what I'll do is I'll do a bit of a roundup as to where I am in a moment this morning. Once I've done the morning market analysis, got quite a busy day. I have an interview at 11 o'clock for a non-exec director role, 1 day a month, which is quite interesting. What else? Oh yeah, I've got to go to the school first off, take the kids to school. Yeah, busy morning, and then tomorrow in London for a meeting, and then in London overnight. So yeah, let's crack on with the day. But first of all, I need a coffee. So it is Wednesday at 2 o'clock, just gone 2, and just checking in with the markets, and looking at the 2 o'clock close. Had the interview this morning for the non-exec director position. Looks pretty interesting, so pretty excited about that. And shortly I am getting in the car, driving over to the car repair specialist that has been dealing with my Mercedes. So picking that up today. So very, very excited to get that back after 2 months. So very, very pleased indeed. Yeah, quite a lot of trades on, quite a lot of activity. Looking to my left, the majority of those trades are protected. I'm going to jump in now and do a quick overview as to where I am. On cable, range break strategy, in profit, and overall my stop. So this is a profitable trade, just looking to get some resistance from that 200 simple moving average. So yeah, just rolling the stop behind the high of the day. This will either reverse or continue down, but either way, profitable trade. Euro entered yesterday on a Braveheart, not yesterday, 2 days ago on a Braveheart entry. Yeah, good to begin with. Looks to be reversing now, but still have the 200 simple moving average in the way. Braveheart strategy is when price closes over past a 200 simple moving average or is rejected by a 200 simple moving average. Now looking to the left, there is some structure which could provide some upside resistance. So maybe this is just a temporary blip. I have rolled my stop, so it's not a full 2% loss if this trade does lose. And the reason I've rolled my stop is behind the low, 20 pips behind the low of yesterday. Another range break strategy on Japanese yen. Yeah, close below the range. We're now in bearish mode. I entered on the close of that candle, which was the open this morning. We're kind of flirting with the entry, but there's a long way to go to get down to the 3-year lows. So yeah, looks like we've broken structure to the left. Yeah, we'll see where we end up with it. We'll see where we end up on this one. Swissy traded on a 240 chart, intraday chart, full house strategy. I added a second position. Now I added this second position into the daily bottom of the trend line on a YX candle. And if you look to the left of the YX candle, there's a Z bid candle. So I think there's a bit of uncertainty. I do think the pressure is still down. I'm not going to take a full 2% loss on this as I've got profit already locked in on that first position. Yeah, I thought it was worth a risk to take that short. And there is quite a way down to get to the next Sig 1 level. So all to play for with this one. US dollar CAD, Loonie, full house strategy again, this time to the bids. Just kind of stagnating towards my entry. Still above the 50, still above the 200. So it shouldn't take too much to push up into that target area, which corresponds with the previous look left structure. And finally, pound Swissy. In fact, not finally. I've got pound yen as well. I'll jump back to that in a minute. This is on a daily chart. This was a range break and Braveheart strategy combined before I tightened up the the various market modes for those. So again, this trade's in profit. This is a profitable trade, whatever happens, but it looks like the market could be reversing back towards my stop. And finally, this time, pound Japanese yen, Braveheart strategy, closed below the 200 simple moving average. The mood of the market is down, quite a long way to run to get anywhere near a SIG 1. So I've entered today, mainly to lighten up or get out of this position later on, depending on what my rules tell me, depending on where this candle closes. But for the moment, this is a live trade. So what's interesting now is that the majority of my trades, I seem to be trading on the daily charts with range break and Braveheart strategies as opposed to the 240 charts. All of my strategies, apart from SIG 1, I only trade in line with the major pairs. So I call this the Mag 7. So you know, if the pound is bullish and US dollar is bearish, then I'm going to be bid the pound and vice versa. If the pound is bullish and US dollar is bullish, then I'm going to avoid that pair as an example. Now that doesn't translate for cable because that is the major pair, but on the cross pairs, that's exactly what happens. So feeling quite organized, feeling quite relaxed, feeling like I'm focusing more on the process than the prize, just following the rules and then seeing what pops out. So yeah, this is definitely an evolvement. The way I'm trading now compared to how I was at the start of the challenge is completely different, albeit the strategies haven't really changed. I've added a couple of new strategies, 2 or 3 new strategies, but the strategies haven't really changed. So yeah, feeling quite good. So let's go pick up this car. It is Thursday morning. I'm up bright and early. I'm at the station, just waiting to catch the train to London. Got a meeting this morning, and then tonight a dinner in London, part of the livery company that I'm a member of. Wife's coming down to join me. Going to get dressed up, a bit of pomp and ceremony, some nice food, some nice wine, and some good conversation, hopefully. So looking forward to that. Yesterday, picked up the car. Great to be back in the Merc. Feels like a new car again. Yeah, but got stuck in horrendous traffic on the way home. One of the lanes has been shut on the main thoroughfare, and as a result took me about 3 times as long to get home, so wasn't best pleased. Got home with a 6 p.m. close. In terms of the markets, I was up this morning at 5:30 doing the morning market analysis. A couple of the positions, pound positions that I had, pound US dollar, pound Swiss franc, I think it was, closed out on a trailing stop overnight, but both delivered a profit. This is on my, I think these were the new Braveheart strategy or range break strategy, one or two other very similar strategies. So pleased with that, and this week is looking very good. A number of trades still live. I've decided not to bring my laptop with me to London. I'm going to have a break from the morning market analysis tomorrow. It's going to be a late night, and tomorrow's non-farm payrolls anyway, so I'm not really going to want to be doing anything in the marketplace. So decided to have a break from that. Means I've got less luggage to carry as well. So occasionally I do that. Discipline is everything, but occasionally I'll give myself the day off, and I think tomorrow is that day. Well, it is going to be that day because I don't have the laptop with me. So I'm going to jump out the car, go and get the tickets, get on the train, get down to London and start the day. I'm not sure that this car has ever looked so clean, even on the day that I bought it.
shoelace, cross it over, make sure you've got a little bit more length here, a little bit of length here. And that should
Voila, thank you.
stop it from twisting.
This is the Henry Paul instructional.
Twist it a couple of times and then insert into
So all set for tonight's dinner, and we have been upgraded at the hotel, which is even better. I've had my instructional as to how to tie the bow tie today, which I think's worked, and the pocket square. So let's get off to the dinner now. Should we go then, Sam?
Yes.
Let's go. Just hanging around in the park today, playing some football, aren't we, boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, who's winning?
No, I was winning.
Daddy's winning. So Sunday evening about 7:30, and weekly market analysis is done. Of the trades that I have on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daily or intraday, 4 out of the 5 are fully protected, which is good news. And my SIG 1 is under a bit of pressure on the weekly chart, but hey, it's the weekly chart, so you know, it's only 1 bar since the open last week, so nothing too much to worry about. So looking forward to a new week, but things are looking good in terms of where we are. Bids, probably not surprisingly, into Swiss franc, Japanese yen, given the state of world markets, coronavirus, etc. And you know, I'm short those pairs, bids Japanese yen, bids Swiss franc. So my job now is just to hold those trades as long as I possibly can, while following my rules. So looking forward to a new week, new start, and see where next week gets me.
Closed doors, I'm a fool for your love.